I'm Raj Chengappa, and I'm with Dr. Farooq Abdullah in Srinagar at his house here. Soon after the movie's release of Kashmir Files, that has made waves across the country and also caused controversies. Dr. Farooq Abdullah, let me start with asking you, what is your impression of this movie and what has it done?
Well, I say that this movie is a propaganda movie. It has really raked up a tragedy of 1990. A tragedy which has affected every soul in this state, not only the Hindu brethren who had to leave this state, but also the Muslim majority who were greatly affected at that time. It was a sad situation, very sad, because there was an element of parties that were interested in cleansing, ethnic cleansing, and some of the people played part in that ethnic cleansing.
Now, the movie itself partly seems to blame you as Chief Minister for not doing things and in fact being lax and allowing the situation to get out of hand.
I don't think it's true. Because if the people want to know the truth, which is very bitter, the people who can tell them, rather than Farooq Abdullah explaining it to them, I would like to tell them to talk to or read Dullat's book, who was then the IB chief here in the state. Or talk to my chief secretary, Musa Raza, who is still alive, thank God, and living in Chennai. Talk to the governor of Kerala, who was also at that time a minister in the central government, Arif Mohammad Khan. He should also apprise you of the things at that time. Because when the situation was such, and they wanted to release 5 of those people who we had caught, I refused to release them.
This is when you're talking about Rubaya Saeed's kidnapping
yes,
and the fact that it was held and you were Chief Minister at that
exactly,
time.
I was Chief Minister. And the Government of India was led by VP Singh, and his associates were also from BJP. They were supporting his government. So the point here was that I said to them, don't do it, because it will be a terrible tragedy for the nation. A nation will pay a heavy price in future. They didn't listen. So much so, I was told that if you don't do it, we will dismiss you. I said, give it to me in writing, that your cabinet has asked for this thing. Because what will happen now, it will be the last nail in the coffin of India in this state. You are responsible for it now. Then, second incident that took place was when the plane was hijacked and they wanted to take those 3 people from here. I begged them, don't do it. This will be a great tragedy.
You're talking of the Kandahar hijack or the earlier?
Kandahar. That was the hijacked plane that they did. And I said, we should not give in to terrorists. They gave in. And that is how all this thing, blew up. Because they thought, well, if Russians can be thrown out of Afghanistan, we will be throwing India out of Kashmir. And we paid a bitter price for it. And let us not be, now it looks wrong, because once the person is dead, we try to respect his thing. But we cannot forget, at that time's governor, he put these Pandits into the buses and sent them and said, in 2 months I'll bring you back. Because I have to use force on these people, and in that the retaliation might take place on you. Therefore, let me work on this, and I'll bring you back in 2 months. 32 years, where are they?
You were saying that Governor Jagmohan, who was there at that time, is the one that was responsible for the Pandits fleeing. It was not the situation in the valley, not you who was ruling before that.
I was not ruling then, because I had given, the minute Jagmohan came in, I gave up. I said, you don't trust us, now you trust him. Go ahead and try to save situation. Was he able to save situation? The very first day in downtown, 50 people lost life. He was the man in charge. Then in Bijbehara, people coming out of the mosque were shot off. How many things shall I narrate to you what happened?
And you are saying that the Pandits didn't flee. It was Jagmohan who asked them to leave so that he could take tough action, from what you said earlier.
See, let me tell you. There'll be people who will tell you various stories. Truth will come out when you put the honest, honorable judge, retired judge, or a committee of these people to find out the truth. You will come to know who's responsible. If Farooq Abdullah is responsible, Farooq Abdullah is ready to be hanged anywhere in the nation. I'm ready to stand that trial. But don't blame people who are not responsible.
You are saying a truth commission should be what is the
Yes.
kind of commission that you'd want? Would it investigate only the Pandits, or you're looking for an overall investigation of what has happened?
It is not only the Pandits. What about the Sikhs in Chatti Singhpora? What about the Muslims who died here? My MLAs, my small workers, my ministers who were blown up. We had to pick their meat from the treetops. Such was the situation. You know, when I first saw this thing happening, Rajiv Gandhi was Prime Minister. And we caught these people, all these weapons and things. At the old airport, I still remember, which is under the Indian Air Force. All those things were laid down to show the Prime Minister that, look, what we have caught is this. And we caught a Pakistani who had come from there. And I saw him in guest house or dark bungalow in, Sopor. Police showed me. And I asked him, why did you come? What made you to come? He said, I was told to kill you. I was ready to kill you, but then I saw that the things I was told about, that Muslims are not praying in the mosque, there is so much this thing and that thing, this I found was wrong. I made a mistake that I came.
Who was this militant that would come in?
From Pakistan, somebody had come, Pakistani fellow. And I was shown this man. Those soldiers, those officers are still alive, who took me to see that man. I was Chief Minister.
Now, a lot of people are saying that all the killers, apart from the ones that you had mentioned, whether it was Yasin Malik, who had confessed on television, or Bitta Karate, none of these people have been prosecuted in 32 years. Who's to blame for this?
Let me tell you. When they released Bitta Karate, who released him? Did National Conference government release him? Or was it Government of India that released him? On what basis did they release him? And when they took those people to Kandahar, the very first man in that, Latram, he had shot up my first cousin. And I was canvassing for Nawab Sahab of Bhopal in the election, parliamentary election at that time. And I heard my first cousin is shot off. My MLA from that very area, downtown, was shot by the same man. The very man blew up a young man on the bridge with all the bombs on him and pressed a button to frighten people. Who took him?
That was the
Who took Maulana Azhar?
Right.
Who took? Who took these people? When I objected to it, I said, don't do it. They have connections here. They have contacts here. This will be the greatest threat to our security. They didn't listen. They didn't listen. So who? That's why I want them to investigate. I want them to investigate honestly. All these killings, rape of our Kashmiri women in Kupwara. I want all this to be investigated so that the nation knows the truth. Time has come when nation must hear the truth and must live with the truth.
And when we're talking of closure of this, after all, there's been great tragedy in the valley. What do you think would be important for closure of all these things? The Pandits coming back, is that possible? Also, all these cases being prosecuted. What is the way forward?
Way forward is to win the people's hearts. Whether they are Pandits, whether they are Muslims, whether they are Sikhs, whoever is a part of this nation. And to also heal the wounds of the rest of the nation. After this film, the wounds are very heavily in everybody's heart, because this film has created that tragedy. I think the Prime Minister and his government must try and heal those wounds immediately before India goes into a spiral which will be difficult to stop.
When you say wounds, this includes hatred. What are you saying? Is
All hatred.
Yeah.
Total hatred against the Muslim community. One community. Which is tragedy. I don't say what happened was good, that we welcome it. No. I think it was the greatest tragedy that even in 47, when invaders were on our border, National Conference stood up to see that not a single Hindu is affected in any way. We paid the price of 5 Tangawalas who took some of these Hindus to Jammu and they were killed in Nagrota. We still accepted that and did not allow the atmosphere to go bad. National Conference history is that.
Now the government has, made this film tax-free and has advocated. The Prime Minister himself has talked about this film. What is your sense of that particular move?
I think they want to further penetrate into people's hearts of hatred. That is a tragedy. They're saying that every policeman, every soldier, everybody sees this movie so that the hate is so extreme, as was in Germany, that Hitler and Goebbels created. And the Jews, 6 million Jews had to pay the price. How many million will pay the price in India? I do not know.
Now, you had met the Prime Minister during that whole process a couple of years ago. What was the thing that you had advocated to him? And do you see that in some ways, has he been able to do what, he said we'd start a dialogue?
I asked the Prime Minister straight away. I had just recovered from COVID. But still I got there because I thought the Prime Minister has called us. We should go and talk to him. He is Prime Minister of the whole nation, not of one community. He represents every Indian. So we went. And when I spoke to him, I told him very frankly, we don't trust you and you don't trust us. Let us try and create the trust which will build future of our nation. He promised us in his speech that dil ki duri or dehli se duri he will try to eliminate. Nothing has happened in that direction. It is not development. It is not whether you send us gold or you send us silver. It is how you heal the hearts. Hearts cannot be healed by making roads and bridges and waterways. There is something more than that. It's a trust. We have to create that trust in each other, that we can survive together, live together, progress together, and be happy together, rather than creating animosities within people.
Now, it's been almost 2.5 years since the government has abrogated Article 370. What is the progress you've seen, and what is your view on that?
Well, they told the nation, very frankly, when they did this, they locked us up. And even then, the Home Minister lied in the House that Farooq Abdullah is free and that he can go anywhere. I can't bring him here. Luckily, I was able to get out of this door and meet the media. That clip is still there with you people. And I said, I'm arrested and spent 8 months in my house. My son spent alone in that other place. So they said that this article, 370, is the one that is creating all the tragedies, and that this militancy that is here will be wiped out when this article is gone. I want to ask the Government of India today, the Home Minister who made this announcement, has militancy gone? Are people not still dying? Are bombs not going on everywhere? Even yesterday, in Tral and other places, these things are happening. Today they're not coming from Pakistan. They are here, our people. What is making them to do this? There must be something. Investigate this. Why are they feeling alienated? That they're ready to give their life when they know that death is on the corner? I think time has come when we must try to find the cause and treat it, rather than allowing it to drift till it becomes so dangerous. No, we do not know what will be the end.
You don't see development happen as a result of it. They say the security situation has improved. There's development going on.
Tell me, do you see security people in every corner? If you see soldier in every corner, then is it really peaceful? Do you see security people like this in any other state? In every corner? In every outside every house? Do you see a security person laced with all the weapons that he has got? Do you see those trucks that are standing everywhere with soldiers? Do you see them anywhere? So is the situation normal? If the situation was normal, would they be there? And imagine the budget that they presented. Out of our budget of the state, 80% is spent on security, 20% on development. So what development do you expect in 20%? And those people who stand with the nation, their security is removed. Why should they stand with the nation tomorrow? When you cannot defend them, who are you fighting? You're fighting your own people. The very people who stood. Where were they in '96 when we when we stood up for election, when nobody was ready to stand for election?
They also say that subsequent governments after 1990 and the Pandits fled didn't make enough efforts to bring the Pandits back. When your party was in power, what was the kind of thing?
Let me tell you, I made an effort. Gujral was the Prime Minister. First move we made, kept 50 buses ready, 50 buses. I hope those people will remember in Jammu to bring them back. And we had one Dhama incident where innocent Hindus were killed. We had Badgam where innocent Hindus were killed. We stopped. We said we don't want blood on our hands. Till the situation improves, we cannot bring them back. Because such was the move of our neighbor.
And subsequently, your government was in power, your party's government was in power between 2008.
They tried. They've tried all the time. Look at the amount of... Tell me, in these 8 years, what have they done? Our governments from that time, thanks to Manmohan Singh ji, were able to give over 4,000 jobs that were created here for Kashmiri Pandits. So we thought by bringing them, their families will come in and they will be here settling down slowly and slowly. Second thing we did was their stipends was given. They were far increased. Their rations were increased. In every way we tried to make them comfortable wherever they were. Have these people done that? Even today, some people haven't got stipend for so many months. They should answer that.
They would say that we've abolished, abrogated Article 370 and therefore we're making this a more secure thing and this would enable the Pandits to come back. I'm just putting it.
If they do that, tell me, recently, when this chemist was killed, Bindru, every single Hindu employee that had come overnight ran away back to Jammu. Tell me, is this what 370 has abrogation did? Why were they not able to stop them? With all the force that they have here, why were they not able to stop those 3,000 or 4,000 employees, Hindu employees, from running away to Jammu? They should answer that.